So when your critics call you robotic in your style, and much of the public calls you heartless, have they just misunderstood you?
I think what's important is that we get on with the job, and getting on with the job is about delivering for people.
What does the Prime Minister and her government actually offer for the young people of this country?
Let me just tell the right honourable gentleman what isn't fair. It isn't fair to refuse to take tough decisions and to load debts on our children and grandchildren for the future.
Students who've worked hard at university graduating with £57,000 worth of debt that will stay with them till they retire.
But I do accept that the government must do all we can to assist everyone affected into retraining and employment and provide support if that is not possible.
I ought to say, as a matter of courtesy, I won't be taking interventions from anyone who's not wearing a tie.
Let me remind the right honourable gentleman of what happens when you don't deal with the deficit. It's not a theoretical issue. Let's look at those countries that failed to deal with it. In Greece, where they haven't dealt with the deficit.
Well, Greece is, of course, a country that has been notoriously in difficulty.
What is its deficit?
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to.
Why would the Prime Minister raise it if she thought that was an example of it not tackling its deficit?
Right,
she wasn't talking about debt, she was talking about the deficit, which is a different thing. Greece doesn't have a deficit. Greece ran a surplus last year on its budget of 0.7% of GDP. So we're running a deficit of just under 3%. Greece is running a surplus of almost 1%.
So we and Greece...
Why would you raise Greece?
So I get an email today from a woman, a WASPI woman, I can't remember where she's from, it was somewhere in England, and she was telling us that her friend committed suicide after the general election result because she could not face what was going to happen to her. Citizens committing suicide over an issue that could be solved like that. You do not get to claim that money is the reason you can't help when you can find £1 billion for self-interest.